Okay, Andrew, Bolooki, the VoxGod.
There you go.
What's up,
What's
brother?
up, y'all?
How are
Thanks
you
for
doing?
having me, dude.
Congrats on your Grammy nom this past February for Old Town Road, one of the biggest records of 2019.
Thank you,
Uh,
sir.
Thanks for being on the show with us today.
I tell
And
you, I'm very appreciative that that all happened 2 months ago, because it would have been a lot different if the Grammys were a little later.
right,
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, for those of you that don't know me, my name's Andrew Bolooki. Sometimes I go by the VoxGod. I'm a producer, engineer, vocal producer, mixer. I'll basically do whatever to make your song sound better. Um, Yeah, I've known Anthony for a long time, so we're both from South Florida. Keep the connection going, you know.
Yeah, we
Um,
shared a studio together back in the day,
yeah,
and now he's
yeah, man. I to just piggyback off of what everyone else has been saying. I know this is super uncomfortable for everyone. It's absolutely uncomfortable for me. I have a studio that's outside of the house, and I'm dying to go back there, but I just don't feel like it's the right time yet. I don't, there's some communal areas, and I just like, everybody's taking its different levels of seriousness. So like, it's not imperative that I get back there like tomorrow. So I'm just trying to kind of make it work out of my house, and it sucks. But I tell you, the connections I've made recently with my other producer and musician peers have been like, I'm so proud and happy of all the rest of the music community, while everyone's like, granted, if you worked in live touring and live acts, you're facing this crazy uncertainty. But the people that work and do other stuff out of studios, everyone's bored and re-energized and like dying to connect with each other. And we've all been playing a whole shitload of PlayStation lately and Call of Duty, and like we're all in these new like group chats with people that we, I know these people on Instagram, but I don't really ever talk to them. But now we're just so bored. They're just like, yo, let me hop in your game. And we just start talking. And it's kind of awesome because it's like it's that feeling of uncomfortableness that is something that we all have in common now, which, it sucks. You don't want to wish that on anyone, but we're all dealing with the exact same. So it's like, at least that's the icebreaker for a whole bunch of new conversations, which granted, whether or not it turns into work or not, I'm just happy to connect with people. I think that's amazing. And that's the best, like, silver lining you can have out of this situation. Um, and also off of what Leanne said, the companies that are like not so much focusing on like dollar transactions right now, but a lot of music companies are like, our software's free right now. Our software's free. Our software's free. All this new free software that people are like giving up free license codes for is incredible, because you're lowering the bar of entry to like, you have no excuse anymore. Like that free software, even if it's just for 90 days or whatever, along with YouTube, you can get started. You know what I mean? And like people like myself and my other peers, like we're like, DMs and Instagram conversations are just like going full speed now. And I'm like more than happy to connect with new people who are like, hey, I just got this program. How do you use Melodyne? Or like, what are your settings on Autotune or whatever? And I'm like happy to share that information. Whereas like, if there wasn't a bunch of new users now using those programs, maybe they would have out of curiosity came across my page. But now people are like actively like doing their own research, and like they're just bored, and the boredom's actually springing like something positive, which is kind of awesome. I think that's dope.
awesome, man. No, it's so true. It's so true. I mean, there's so many companies. I mean, from digital marketing to anything right now, everything's discounted. Master courses, and now's the time
Yeah.
to really take advantage of it. With whatever, other, other forms of knowledge that you've been wanting to do and turn into income, into a new income stream moving forward after this. So that's awesome, and that's some great knowledge that you just presented, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody that's watching that's curious, like go to like a Waves Audio or Sound Toys, or anybody that makes these. Apple, I think, just made Logic free today. Any of those companies, you start following one, they'll start suggesting you the other ones, and then you start just have a small little Instagram circle group of these companies, almost all of them have free codes right now. All of them do. So like, there's just, I encourage everyone just to get started. If
Yeah.
you're an artist that relied on an engineer and now you can't work with your engineer, it's not that hard. Like, you can kind of figure out how to do it, and then there's hella YouTube tutorials, and you can just connect with people online and figure out, iron out the bumps or whatever. But I think that's like, I'm looking forward personally to the new ways of connecting and working with people. I don't think it does kind of suck that you can't be in a room right now with humongous Asperger's blasting your face off and you're listening to final products or whatever. But I think that the music industry kind of needed this from the studio side to like shake things up a little bit and maybe get people who have confined themselves into small bubbles, artists, teams, whatever, to start branching out and reaching out to just new groups of people, connecting in different ways. And like, if you can start collaborating a little bit easier with people because you can virtually jump into their session and then virtually jump into somebody else's session. I granted that could seem like somewhat of a clusterfuck down the line, but if there's a way to do it where you can like, lock up your chat group and then send invites to people because you want to work with this writer or this writer, whatever, and they can't physically be in the same place at the same time. I mean, there's definitely a lane there for people to like get a whole lot more work done than they could have before if they're able to like hop into different environments. You could end up hitting like 6 sessions a night from your living room. That's kind of awesome. I don't think the technology is right there yet where the latency is low enough that, it's still going to seem like you're using a video chat thing for a little bit, but I don't doubt that all these companies are going to figure out how to get the latency where it needs to be. Where like playing video games online, for example, there's latency, but people found ways to deal with it, and it's fun. You get the same rewarding feeling when you win a game or whatever with other people. When they can iron that out a little bit, and you can get that same rewarding feeling of like making an awesome song or doing awesome work with people virtually, like I'm not going to say no one's going to care, but people are going to get over it, and they're going to start to see more positives than negatives.
Awesome, bro. That's so dope.